Ibikunle Olaitan Adelaja says, sir, what can I establish with the sum of 100,000 naira? Please enlighten me. With 100,000 naira, you need to learn. You need to learn first. What you need to do is to learn. Improve your mind. Read. And if you're asking what you can start, it means that you are in that point where you need information. And I'm not going to do your work for you. You know, that's why a lot of people get swindled. They want to say, okay, if I give 100,000 naira, can you be paying me 10,000 every month? Yes, the man would, someone will agree, and after paying you for like 3-4 months, takes your money and run. And then you begin to complain. So you need to put in work. Money will not just double on its own. Learn options that are out there for you to use money to work for you. I know that there are places where you can buy facilities, like items that are needed. Like, for example, now in some parts of Nigeria there is a lack of some certain food items, and in some other parts of Nigeria there's so much that these food items get wasted. A wise thing would be for someone that has that kind of money and free time on his hand to go to such locations where the food is cheap and bring them to the locations where the food is expensive and sell them for a fee. You do all the stress, you do all the hassle, and you bring it and you sell, you make profit from it. There are a lot of things that you can start with 100,000 naira. But the problem is most people are looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. Now you're expecting me to tell you that, okay, do A and do B, that 100,000 will turn into 200,000. The truth is that there is no such venture. There's no such venture. If not, everybody will be billionaires now. The truth of this whole money making thing is you need to begin to groom yourself. The information you have is the currency that you require. So you need to get informed, start learning. Learn areas where you know that you have a strength, or areas where you know you have a flair. Learn about it. If you're good with mathematics, learn stock trading. If you're good with, learn something that you can become a guru at, a pro at. You must be known for something. A master of all is a master of none. A jack of all is a master of none. You must be known for something. If your name is mentioned, what comes to mind? So you must be known for a particular thing. Don't just seek money or seek profit. Seek to be the best at a particular thing, and then profit will come. Good morning, sir. With the harsh economic situation, how can one be financially independent and be graduate and also have skills in welding and fabrication? Wow, wonderful skills. Welding and fabrication brings a ton of money. There's so much construction going on in Nigeria, every part of Nigeria today, and you require capital to acquire tools and equipment. I started business with no capital, no loans, no money, nothing, and we grew to where we are today. We are still growing, and we still intend to grow. Now, the idea that you need capital for tools and equipment is a limiting factor. Now, how did we start? I started looking out and making advertisements on decorative concrete to different people. I started talking to people that this is what I can do, this is what I do. I put up pictures on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on everywhere. I tell this to all my trainees, everybody I've been privileged to train. And then we got to a point, I was alone at that point. I got to a point where someone that knew me or that had heard about it now reached out and said, come, I learned you do this. Can you do this? How much will it cost? And that was where the first break came. I was not able to buy equipment at that point. I had to rent. I had to hire equipment to use to deliver that project, and I delivered the project, and I delivered it very well. From the profit, I took some out of it. I didn't take all of the money and began to buy shoes, and began to buy clothes, buy phones, and began to do all of the jamboree at that point, because yes, the money was there, but it was not money that was for spending. It was money for investment. So I took some of it and invested in some things, invested in the business, and after a while we were able to bring in a container load of materials and equipment and began to sell. After a while, we were able to register with Panic Industries and became the distributor here in West Africa and expanding to other parts. So you see, there is a venture you need to push yourself to, and that is to remove that thought that you need capital to start business. Every business is started by capital. I agree with you, but the capital you need is in your capital, your head. Your head is your capital city. You know, the head city of every state or every country is called the capital. So your capital you actually need to start that business is in your head if you can think hard enough. So you need to think on it. How do I start? What's the best way to start from where I am? If you can tax your brain enough and push yourself, you'll be able to start that venture without money. Because I know when you're talking about capital, what comes to mind first is money, cash. But it's not really money. The first capital you need to start any business is the capital in your mind, the capital in your head. Do more of advertising, and you don't need money to advertise. If you've gotten to that point where you have money to advertise, fine. Start with your friends, network with your friends, point it out to them, send them messages on WhatsApp. Permit me to use the word, be crazy about what you do. Be crazy about what you do. Whatever it is you're doing, that's why people say you must do something you're passionate about. Do you know you can pretend passion? Yes, you can. Now, if your passion is to impact lives and to see people have a better life, now you don't like cooking, but you know that you can learn or you can know how to cook properly. Now your passion now is to impact lives, but you don't like cooking. Cooking is not your passion, but you have every experience, every equipment to cook. Now because of your passion to impact lives, you use the proceeds from cooking to impact lives. You will see that you can transfer the passion from your original intention, which is to impact lives, into cooking, because that cooking now has become a vehicle for you to achieve your passion. That's what I mean by you can pretend passion. So you can transfer the passion, original passion that you have for something, into another venture. And you must be passionate about anything that you would succeed in. You can't succeed in anything you're not passionate about. You can't. So you must be passionate about your welding and fabrication if you intend to succeed. Learn, go online, watch videos about new trends in fabrication. I know there is this laser cuts they do. It's not my field, but I know that there's this laser cut engineering that they do where they make sheets of iron look very splendid, very beautiful. So invest in new areas in your industry if you intend to become known, and be the man that when he's involved in any venture, it will look outstanding. Also, you need mentors. You need people that have actually done well in that field to guide you. You might not have access directly to them, but get their books, get their videos, listen to them, learn from them if you intend to get to that point of greatness in welding and fabrication. You should know who the best welders in the world are. You should know the field that are most lucrative in welding and fabrication, because welding and fabrication is a very big field, but it is one that has a lot of money. So invest in knowledge, like I always say. With 300k, what's the best business you can advise one to go into in this Obodo Naija? Now it depends on your time. Are you available to monitor the business 24/7? Are you available only on weekends? Is it a business that you're going to invest both time in? Now businesses that require your time are usually more profitable than businesses where you just drop money and get returns on investment from it. So you need to know what kind of business you want to. There are a ton of businesses that 300k can start, but if you use 300k to rent a shop of 100k and buy goods of 200k, it means you're planning to fail. It means you're planning to fail, because if you sell goods worth 200k, definitely your profit will not be 200k. Your profit will be a percentage of that at best. Now, how long will it take you to sell those goods? Will you be able to pay for the rent of that shop again? So you see, most times people have some money set aside, and the next thing that comes to mind is, let me go and open a shop. And a lot of people have gone belly up in opening shops. I know someone that has opened up to 4 shops and they keep failing, and she believes that there is a devil working against her success. But I don't believe that, because I've asked her questions and I found out that she is not equipped to succeed at selling from a shop. You pay a shop rent of 400,000 naira and you buy goods worth 1 million. It takes you 7 months to sell those goods completely, and out of that 1 million now you're making a profit of 300,000. That means your profit is not even enough to buy fuel for that shop. It means that you either have to take money from somewhere else, or you need to start taking money from the capital that you used to buy goods. Now, because there's turnover, you think there's a lot of money in the business, and you continue and you continue. All of a sudden, when it's time to pay rent, there's nothing to use. So you see, that business has already decided to go belly up from day one, because the feasibility of that was not in place. You can't pay rent that is 50% of your capital, or your value of the value of the goods you put into it. If you are paying a rent of 300,000, it means you should have a turnover of close to 20 to 15 to 10 million. Yes, because your turnover is not your profit. From your turnover, you cut off some money to pay staffs, you cut off some money to pay NEPA bills, you cut off some money to pay some other logistics that might arise. So you see, the business model is off, and that's why people that open shops keep closing the shops, because you've taken a whole lot of money and put into the shop. That's your capital. How much is your turnover? Can it pay the rent? Can it keep the lights on? Those are the questions you'd ask yourself. What the goods you sell? That's a lot to talk about. Chibwe Agbasi says, how do I overcome indecision? It's really killing me. Please help me. Thank you. Well, if you know that indecision is killing you, you're already on your first step to come out of indecision. And two things keep people from making decisions. Number one, the fear of the result of making a wrong decision. The truth is, if you don't make the decision, you've already made a wrong decision. Now, the second thing that keeps people from making decisions is procrastination. I'll decide on this tomorrow, I'll decide on this tomorrow, I'll decide on this tomorrow. Those two things keep you on the path of indecisions. And if you need to be a good leader, you need to be decisive. You need to know that you don't know it all. You need to know that you will make mistakes. You need to give yourself room, and you need to be forgiving to yourself in advance. Oh, if I make a mistake, shrug it and go on. Your leader might get angry with you and shout and yell and say, this is out of line, this is not good. Yes, that's a point of correction. You can't change what you have made as a decision. So shrug it off and move on and decide to do better going forward. That's all. But if you keep not making decisions, in fact, the best way to make decisions and everything is that as soon as you get information on it, decide on it. As soon as you get information on it, decide on it. Oh, how do I do A and B? Somebody requires your decision regarding something regarding to your, or in respect to your business or something you're doing. Decide on it now. Decide on it immediately. If you have to delegate the decision making to someone else, delegate it immediately. Don't say, okay, I will decide on this tomorrow. Decisions are to be taken per second, so decide on it. And that's why it's important that as a leader you equip yourself with information that will make it possible for you to make the right decision, or surround yourself with people that are well informed. So when it's time to make a decision, you call them, come on, what do you think about this? They give you a third-party opinion about the subject, then you x-ray it and decide. If you need to call them on the phone, this is what I want to do. You know, every leader has a go-to person. Every leader has a go-to person, someone they talk to. Sometimes it's good to be your spouse. Sometimes it can be someone very close to you that you can always reach out to and say, come on. You might not agree with the person's decision or opinion regarding that subject matter, because at the end, you're the leader. You're the one in charge, or you're the one who needs to make that decision. But having a third perspective on issues gives you a more holistic view on the subject matter and helps you to make a more informed decision. That's where having a third party that you can confide in comes to play. So that's it. Decisions. Know that if you don't make that decision, you're losing more because you've already decided wrongly. But if you decide, you have a 50-50 chance of deciding correctly or deciding wrongly. So you choose. Do you want to have a 50-50 chance, or do you want to have a 100% chance of failure? Nobody wants to have a 100% chance of failure, but a 50-50 chance of failure and success is still a go-to. And with more information, you can increase that to 90% and 10%. If you have more information, you have 90% chance of succeeding and 10% chance of failing. So you need to get informed. One of the reasons why people don't make decisions too is because of the lack of knowledge regarding that subject matter. So get informed and know that you don't want to procrastinate matters of life and death. You lose more from procrastinating